Welcome to Speaking Prowess, the show that supercharges your communication and fuels unstoppable success. Sifu Rafael, visionary founder and world-renowned master instructor, elevates leaders into unforgettable communicators who command the room and inspire action. Alongside him is Schilling, the authentic connector, a business growth expert with 40 years of experience, empowering audiences to rise higher, succeed faster, and thrive with purpose. Together, they bring you the strategies, insights, and inspiration to amplify your voice, expand your influence, and unlock your true potential. This is Speaking Prowess. Your journey to communication mastery starts now.
5, 4, 3,
Happy Friday, Scott. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Look at all this cool fun Halloween stuff we could throw on the screen.
This is Peggy's favorite day of the year. Believe it or not, she just loves it.
Oh yeah. I at one point I collected so much Halloween paraphernalia and I used to even make tombstones. I had a coffin. And I used to do all this crazy things. Trick-or-treating was huge. We used to have all these kinds of, when kids used to come to trick-or-treat, my job was to scare them and then give them candy, right? That was my job. But you know, we have two incredible, and I know it's trick-or-treat, but I think we have two treats to bring to everybody today. Absolutely. So let's go ahead and bring them out. Bethany and Solomon, happy Halloween. Happy Friday.
Happy Halloween.
Okay.
Today's the day. Kids are out.
So every so often I will throw that on there, but we're going to take it off so we can see each other a little bit better. So today I love the fact that we're going to talk about wellness meets wisdom. Wow. And, you know, when we think about those two words, wellness and wisdom, some people think they're doing the right thing, but they don't have the wisdom to do it. That's just my take.
Well, that's true. You know, I mean, we don't know what we don't know until we know it. That's why people tune in here to get this wisdom from these experts.
I love that, Scott. We don't know what we don't know. Well, and I think that it's not that people don't want to know. I feel like we're so we have so much information right now that we don't know what to listen to.
Right.
That's another thing.
Well, without guidance, you know, one of the things that I actually ask it from stage all the time, by a show of hands, how many of you don't know what you don't know? Is it fair that somebody knows what you don't know? Is it even possible that we might know what you don't know? So suspend disbelief for just a few minutes and listen to some thoughts for your consideration. And it's amazing once people truly realize that there is some wisdom available to them, and some of us more mature, that's code word for older, folks might have some of that wisdom just because we've lived through a lot of different things and we've experienced along the way.
Yeah.
Love that. So wellness, Solomon, you're a health coach. Bethany, you've been on my Sifu's Mind Body Method, and you shared so much knowledgeable information. And I know Scott, were you there that day, or you were traveling? I think
I was traveling that day.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Replays there. So
exactly.
here's the cool thing. Everybody was wowed by you, Bethany. So me included, right?
I appreciate that.
Say that again.
Said I appreciate that.
Right. But you know what? When I say something to someone and I give them a compliment, it's because I mean it, because I never, ever want to give anybody fluff. Not for me. That's not me. Right? So appreciate you being here. And Solomon, you're a health coach. I've seen some of your things you're doing. You actually send me stuff. You send me your book. You send me your gear. I had some of my members try it out, and we lost Solomon. because he went to go get his book. I don't know what happened, but technology is kind of odd. Hopefully he'll jump back in with us. Hopefully he'll jump back in. And while he does that, talk to us about what that means to you. Wellness meets wisdom, Bethany.
I think that they're completely intertwined. You have to understand, because I feel like a lot of the health crises that we're seeing right now are just due to ignorance. It's due to not knowing. And, I would be ignorant too if I didn't have the life experience that I had, if I wasn't raised the way I was. So when I was 5, so I'm in Idaho, and they spray their crops with pesticides, and all that stuff. And when I was 5, my lungs just stopped working. All the bronchioles inside started popping, and my mom rushed me to the doctor, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong, but I was allergic to the spray that they were spraying, all the pesticides that were on the plant. And so my mom is a nurse, always been in the medical field. And as they're trying to give me medicine, I could take it one time and then I became allergic to it.
Wow.
I was just like not accepting medicine. So from a very, very young age, I had to learn alternative ways to be able to help my body work. And my mom had to learn alternative ways too. And it helped that my dad is from Switzerland, and it's very natural. They believe a lot in plants and herbs over there. And we happened to own a greenhouse and a nursery, and that's what they did. And so it was very much so like learning how to grow things and learning by the things that are around you how to use food as medicine. That was the only thing that worked for me. And so I wouldn't have the knowledge if I didn't have the experience, and I would be caught up in that ignorance. And that is, that's where I get to share that knowledge, because I've experienced it.
It's interesting. As I was listening to you there, same thing. You don't know what you don't know until you know it, right? I was training in the holistic disciplines, and somebody shared with me one day that basically we're designed to be at equilibrium. We're designed to be the perfect height, perfect weight. And if we're not, it's because of the 3 stresses: emotional, chemical, or physical stress. We all experience 1, 2, or maybe 3 of those as we go along, right? And so our body is so amazing that it actually tells us if we're overweight, we're holding things for a reason. If we're underweight, we're not holding it for a reason, all those different kinds of things. So I think it's fascinating when you learn a different point of view, you learn a piece of wisdom, and then you can now make better decisions the rest of your life.
Yeah, it's so true.
So Solomon, we lost you for a second. So I was saying, what are your thoughts on wellness meets wisdom?
Oh, I love that, Sifu. Yeah, because people need help with actually doing it. And really the problem is the habits is not aligning with the wisdom of what they know. So that's what I do as a health coach. I have them where they can master the positive lifestyle change to be able to stay consistent even while they traveling and life gets chaotic.
Whose life is chaotic? I mean, mine is just actually perfectly smooth 100% of
yeah,
the time.
I can tell you. You're Scott, so it should be perfectly smooth, but most people are not like Scott. So for example, most of my clients are women in their 50s, in their mid 40s, so they're still trying to help out everybody else, and they're pouring from an empty cup. So they've been taught to go and prioritize everybody else, and then this causes them to be able to put their health on the back burner. So over a course of time, their health is going to suffer. So they need somebody that can just have them to be able to prioritize themselves so that they can give their family the best.
I'm a woman in that age range, and aged myself there. Anyways, but it is so true, because we're experiencing a lot of like hormonal changes, and all of a sudden we can have the consistency of healthy diet and everything else, but still things are changing. Like I eat really good, but now I need to take extra supplements because I have to take more ashwagandha now. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but the side effect of ashwagandha is testosterone, and I have no testosterone at all. And women have to have a small amount of testosterone. And so now I have to take ashwagandha and all these other things. I'm like, okay. But it is so true. Just we have to keep adapting and learning to what we need to do.
Yes, exactly. But also, Bethany, I would say the main thing I realized that gets in people's way of accomplishing results and getting change is the ego. The ego wants to just feel like, it has everything under control when, the body and the spirit is saying, no, you don't. We're suffering.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Sorry, when you were talking about testosterone and you don't have enough, but then there's some women who have too much, and then they got to shave more. Here, right? So I'm just kidding here. But
yeah, I like nothing.
but I love what you talked about, Solomon, because when we think about moms, especially moms, right? And dads also in a different aspect, right? Moms are taking care of their children. They always look to make sure their kids are fed before they eat. They're taking care. And then sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, Johnny didn't finish his food. Well, I might as well eat some of it because I don't want to throw it in the garbage. And then all of a sudden they're overeating because they don't realize that maybe they don't want to throw it away. They're doing the negative things, right? Instead of, you know what, Johnny didn't want to eat it. I don't need to eat it, right? But then dads are doing the other thing is maybe they say, I have to be at work. I have to do this. So I don't have time for family or this. And all of a sudden they stop taking care of their health. So it's happening both for males and females. And the same thing, I've seen so many dads go, I don't know how I put these 30, 40 pounds on. And I go, tell me about your eating habits. And then they tell me, they go to lunches, they do this. And I say, how about when you're with your family? Oh, when I'm with my family, we eat like this and like that. And I go, what happens with the food that's left over? He goes, I'll eat it. I'm like, why? Because it's there. I'm like, that's not equating to why you don't understand how you gained weight. Right.
Exactly.
So it's about a matter of just prioritizing where we're focused, right? When we want to take care of our family, especially a mom, let's feed them right? Like your parents did for you, Bethany. They realized that the pesticides was what's harming you. And yet most people would have said, okay, well, we can't do anything about it. Right. But your parents were very active in your livelihood.
I think that's where the how health shapes your potential. I think, unfortunately, there's not enough education young enough. And as a kid that was 27 pounds at 6 months old and 41 pounds at a year old, no, I was not fed with a slingshot. But I obviously learned some not great habits. And I think that's how this becomes such an important topic for people to truly understand. Again, is it possible that if you ate better, is it possible if you drank more water and did all these different things that you'd be in such a better position to be able to handle the stresses of life and everything else that's going on?
Yeah, without a doubt. You talked about a baby being overweight. When I was doing architectural interior design, I was working with a gentleman who had a baby. The baby was not even a year old. The baby was eating a whole chicken.
Wow.
And asking for more. And he thought it was cute. And he showed me pictures of an oversized kid that by the time he was 1 year old, the kid was eating almost 2 chickens a day, like a chicken and a half. And I'm like, what are you doing to this kid? Oh, he's so cute. He'll outgrow it. I'm wondering why they have these shows with the 600-pound whatever person. It's because of parents like that who thought it was cute to let their kids eat anything they wanted and not be responsible enough to be there for them.
Exactly.
You know,
That was scary.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So parents deal with something called a guilt factor. Sometimes, if they did not have enough as a child in some aspect or another, they feel like they need to overcompensate. And if they were ever hungry as a child, and there were times when I grew up really, really poor, and we're in a very small town. Everyone in the town is poor. It's like you're just in a town of 1,000 people. We all are leaning on each other, and that's just how it worked. And we're all like rolling out the storm together. Now, when you grow up hungry and then you have children, you want to be sure that your child is being fed because you don't want to give them that same thing. But what we're doing is we're not supporting them. We're not helping them. There's a way to support and love and help. I did not have candy growing up. Like honey was my candy. We did not have sugar. And then I would go over to my friend's house. We cooked everything from scratch. I'd go over to my friend's house and she had SpaghettiOs in a can and processed cheese and like green ketchup. I was like, holy cow, this is the coolest stuff I'm aging myself again. This is the coolest stuff I've ever seen, right? And I would eat it and it would taste weird to me. But I would eat it because on the commercials and everything I was being advertised to was saying, this is so good. This is what you need. And so I ate it. But no, I didn't feel great about it. Like my body did not feel good about it. But then when I got older and I could afford things, I actually, before I knew better, I was that mom that I bought SpaghettiOs for my kid because I didn't get them as a kid. They didn't like them. Weird. Because I cooked everything from scratch, right? But I would still do it because I didn't have that. Or I would give them candy as a child, like when they're children, because I didn't have that. And then as I realized how they were responding and I knew how I responded and I did have the knowledge, I realized that, this actually isn't good. But we do this. We give our children what we feel like we did not have. And it reciprocates. And sometimes the things that we didn't have it's probably good we didn't have them.
I can see that. That's a great point, Bethany. Because so and then when they get older, they go and develop these food addictions. So it started when they was younger, and then them eating these kind of foods, and then they get up in age, and then they have all kind of health problems, and they're overweight. So it all comes down to being able to control the triggers and not letting food be your love. I mean, it's good to like the food, but it happens when a person develop these addictions to food, and then they want to be an emotional eater. When she's upset, she's eating food. When she's stressed out, she's eating food. When she's upset at her, her husband or her boyfriend, she's eating food. So it all comes down to being able to control the triggers, and it all comes down to your habits. Your habits will define whether you stay on one side of the fence, which is the healthy people, or the other side of people who are overweight. So you gotta pick a side, but your habits will pick for you.
Yeah. I always say that a lot of people, when we call somebody an emotional eater, I've had a lot of clients who say, I'm an emotional eater. I said, what you're telling me is that you don't want to deal with the emotion. Yeah. So you're gonna substitute eating for that. Guess what? After you finish all that terrible food, that stuff that's going to hurt you in the long run, that's going to put you in a hospital sooner than you want it, you still have that emotion you have to deal with. So why don't you deal with the emotion, and then you won't have that fantasy that the food will solve it for you, because that is a fantasy. When people say I'm an emotional eater, is because it's a fantasy that if I eat this food, I'm going to feel better.
Yeah.
Yes.
And my emotions are going to I'm going to be happy.
Yeah. I think go ahead, Scott.
I was going to say, Sifu, you've done such a great job in Sifu's mind-body method of describing or helping us learn how our body sends us the signals and how we feel after we eat certain things. And our body tells us, if all of a sudden you're energized or all of a sudden you're sluggish. But if you're sluggish, that last thing that you probably used to fuel your body went the wrong direction. I mean, it did the wrong thing. So, it's, again, I think a big part of this is just knowledge, and it's so important to be able to learn what to look out for, because the body is an amazing thing. It'll tell you what's going on if you just pay attention.
That's true.
Yes, Scott, I can see that, Scott. But then, because of ChatGPT and the internet, though, people have knowledge that people didn't have 20, 30, 50, 100 years ago. So, I mean, knowledge, I mean, it's good, though, but really, people need accountability and people need the truth. For the most part, people will rather feel good and suffer versus hearing the truth that can actually save their lives.
Yeah, they can't handle the truth.
Yeah,
that's a good line. I should write that down.
All good men, yes.
I should write that down.
I think that one of the go
no,
ahead.
I was just going to go off of Solomon there. I think knowledge is wonderful, but knowledge is not the final thing. It's knowledge in action. You've got to
applied knowledge. Yes,
applied knowledge. You got to take it and put it to the street level, or in this case, to your face level. You got to shut your mouth. So Go ahead, Bethany. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, so I teach 5 areas of self-care. That's what I do. And we always start with emotional self-care, no matter what, because every single person is not as emotionally aware as they should be. That is actually a skill that we have to know and we have to develop. We have to develop the emotional awareness of our eating. We have to develop the emotional awareness of our relationships, the emotional awareness of our sleeping. When I sleep enough, am I okay? If I don't sleep enough, am I okay? There's so much emotional awareness that we do not take care of. And we don't even understand how to do that. And I always start with teaching emotional awareness because, yes, you're going to have the emotional eaters. And if they're not emotionally eating, they're doing something else. They could be self-harming. There is so many emotional irregulation things that are happening that people don't realize that I'm doing this because I don't understand how to deal with my emotions. And if we don't understand how to deal with your emotions, you're not going to be dealing with anything else.
Yeah.
You can't.
By the way, for anybody listening, if you hear these beautiful little birds, those are all Bethany's. And she has all kinds of animals in her house because she does have a garden. She has all these animals. And I'm going to call her my good friend, the farmer, because she not only she produces great product that she consumes with her family, but I just love the nature aspect of you, right? I think it's a beautiful thing. And Scott, you did mention Sifu's mind body method, so let me share this with everybody. Take a look. You followed the rules, tried the restrictions, counted the carbs, the steps, and the failures. You're not lazy, you're exhausted from doing it all without real change. What if the problem isn't you, but the plan? Sifu's Mind Body Method is a 90-day transformation built on 7 unshakable pillars: mindset, movement, nutrition, hydration, fasting, journaling, and faith. This isn't another shortcut. It's your structure, your strength, your reset. You don't need harder, you need better. Ready to begin? Start today. There you go. So Jose says that knowledge about nutrition is very low, but he's working on it. So many people don't understand nutrition, the balance, how to eat, when to eat, fasting. That's huge. And so many people think that, why do I, especially because I do intermittent fasting, people are like, why are you starving yourself? I'm like, I'm not hungry. And it's actually, I'm using my food, and you talked about it, Bethany, to help me it's my medicine working. Can you take, when you have a headache, can you take one pill to maybe help it? What if you take 2? Wouldn't it help you sooner? What if you take 3? What if you take 4? Why don't you just take a handful of pills so your headache goes away like that? Is that the right thing? So the same concept there is you take 1, let it do its job, right? By the way, I take no pills. And when I have a headache, people go, oh, you should take something. I'm like, I am. I'm taking a breath. I'm taking some water and it will go away. Right? So think about that, my friends.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I'm very much so. I might be the hippie here. It's fine. I'm okay with that.
I love hippies. You and I both.
But it's very much so like we are given so many things and we just need to be educated on how to use them. Like headaches are one of the most common problems that people suffer from because it's stress. It is like high blood pressure can give you a headache. If you have high blood pressure and you're in a stressful situation, you're going to get a headache. And how to bring down your blood pressure. Or are you sick? Are you getting a headache because it's a precursor? Do you need to put peppermint oil on the bottom of your feet? Because that also helps. Or behind, right here, that also helps. Like all these little things open up those capillaries so that your blood can flow, so that your brain can have what it needs. I mean, we just need to use what we have because it is all here for us to heal.
I'm enjoying this conversation so much. Keep going because I'm listening. I'm learning. I can only learn when I listen.
And I also would like to add to that too. And the other problem now is because of social media, everybody wants things fast, quick, instant gratification, quick. People are so impatient. So that's the other issue. And that's the other problem that's like one of the main issues why people are unhealthy. They're looking for a quick fix. They're looking for something to help them feel better in the moment versus learning and applying what they know and building up their discipline. Discipline is a muscle. I mean, discipline is something that you have to build up. It's not going to suddenly be there. Motivation is nice if you have it, but for the most part, most of the time, you're not going to feel motivated. But discipline is stronger than motivation, but something that's stronger than both of them that you can rely on all the time is proven systems. And that's what I do for my clients. I make them a personalized program and I can make sure that they do it in real time. So I make them personalized habits, and people need somebody that can just make sure that they do it. Make sure that they're eating the right amount of calories and macros. Somebody to just make sure that they're following the right kind of habits so they can work on developing their discipline in the areas that they're weak.
Yeah, accountability partners are huge, especially if you have an accountability coach like you do, Solomon. So many people start a program, whether it's a fitness program, an eating program, anything like that. And then if their friends, they start it with a friend and their friend kind of says, oh, I'm not going to go today. Like, I'm not going to go either. And then it's all about that. Who's going to call you up and say, hey, you know what? Let's go anyway. Right? It doesn't matter. And I've had to do that to so many people in my life with clients and friends who say, I'm going to do this. I'm like, okay, I'm your accountability partner. And you don't want me as your accountability partner because I'll keep you to it.
Yeah,
I will hold you to
seriously.
it. Because I take everything seriously. Life is short. Let's have some fun, though.
I love that.
Well, I think the reality of what we're doing in Sifu's mind body method is we start off our calls with wins for the week and, potential areas that we could improve. And accountability is a big thing. Things are moving so fast these days. And yes, we have the opportunity of video and all sorts of different things. And yes, we've got access to more information than we've ever, quite frankly, wanted. And of course, everything on the internet is true. So it's always great to be able to learn all those things, right? It helps to have somebody who's been there, done that, the experts that are on this panel right now, being able to guide people along the way. Experience is a great teacher. It's just a very expensive teacher. Better to borrow some than create your own.
That is so true.
Agree.
Scott, you've made great strides. I'm going to let Bethany go, and then we're going to talk about some of the strides that you've made in your own personal life.
Sure.
I was going to say about there is the reason why people fail at doing these things is because they don't hold themselves accountable. Because self-discipline, and I think I've talked about this before, but self-discipline is a triangle. Like, it literally is a triangle. You have what you want to do, your why, or your how you're going to do it. And then the bottom piece is your accountability piece. Everyone will get those two angles. But if you don't have that bottom accountability piece, your foundation, you're going to keep failing every time, because it's about creating that intrinsic motivation. The reason why you do it is not be for somebody else, it's for you. And you have to figure out how you can be your own accountability piece.
Yeah, love that. I think that's one of the most important parts of anything that we take on, right? Any endeavors that we say we're going to go with, whether it's in business, relationships, our food journey, if you will, even our medicine, surgeries, all these things. I've had 3 knee surgeries. Figure that, but I only have 2 knees, right? So with that in mind, every time that I've had the knee surgeries, they give me all these painkillers. And I go, I don't need that. They're like, take it, just take it. I'm like, okay, I take it home. I put it in my cabinet. I never touch it. Unfortunately, people found out that I have it. And they're like, can I have them? I'm like, you didn't have surgery. Why do you need it? Because they want to use it the wrong way. So, of course, I never gave it to them because that's not who I am, right? I'm not a drug pusher. But did I need the painkillers if I didn't know how to deal with pain anyway? Yes, I probably would have taken it, right? So for me, it's not about all these little things that are going to put a Band-Aid on the things. I rather just, rip the Band-Aid off and let's deal with the real issue. So that's why I wanted to talk to Scott about the big strides that you've been making. And I'm so happy you're part of Sifu's Mind Body Method, of course.
Well, thank you, Sifu. And it's interesting. I had both hips replaced, and they gave me oxy prescriptions after each one, and I didn't take a single one, period. It's amazing what a recirculating ice product does. There are actually things you can strap on that simply recirculate ice water, and ice is an amazing healer, and understanding what the body can do for itself. And now with Sifu's Mind Body Method, and I showed you, we had somebody on a couple of weeks ago that shared something about water, lemon water, some Himalayan salt, and I did something like this. Well, here's my Himalayan salt, and
here's my little one.
Yeah, and here's my gallon a day of water, and so I showed the various things and it's intriguing to me how when you take some guidance from somebody and you realize, wow, I haven't been as hydrated as I could be or should be, and all of a sudden you hydrate, and all of a sudden the next thing you sleep better, and you do this and you do that, and all the attributes of having your electrolytes more balanced and having the proper amount of salt and all these different things. It's really amazing what happens. You don't have to not want to eat chips because you've already had a little bit of Himalayan salt in your water, and so salty, there's no craving for salty. And so it's really how the body is so amazing. If you put it in the right position, it will actually support you in doing the right thing. Yeah. The challenge is most people, me over time, haven't known the right thing, or me over time knowing the right thing and getting out of the habit again. So again, it's a dual process. Knowledge is great, but it's knowledge in action. You've got to apply it and you've got to put it in. And that's where the accountability comes in. And quite frankly, that's all love. That's, hey, I want you to be around. We need you to contribute. You got to be healthy.
Yeah.
That's the potential right there of contributing, right? It's hard to contribute from a hospital bed unless, because you put yourself there, right? Because of your health practices, if you will, right?
Well, I mean, I think if you think about anybody who sits there and strives, many times entrepreneurs especially, they strive so hard for the brass ring. They're trying to either get the status or the money or the this or the that. And because of that, their health tends to falter.
Mhm.
And as soon as their health falters, they go, all the rest of it isn't worth it. If you don't have health is wealth. If you don't have your health, there's nothing else there. And as a guy who lived through a near-death experience, I can share you when you're in that situation and you go, yeah, I don't want, okay, been there, done that. Don't want to experience that again. Let's work at this a little differently.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that though. And this is something that I actually ask entrepreneurs. If you was to walk into a room right now, would your body sell your brand or sabotage it? So when you're fitter, it'll help you with your image, and then you can make more money. People give you more respect. You get more things done. You have more energy. You set a better example for your kids. So all that stuff happens when a person prioritizes their health. But most people don't even know how to set proper goals. So I teach my clients, you got to set SMART goals. They need to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So if you're not even knowing how to set proper goals, it's like the chances of you actually being able to accomplish that goal and stay consistent is slim to none.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Setting goals, I think it's such an important aspect. And you talked also about habits, Solomon, and what people don't realize is that you can't get rid of a habit. You have to replace it with another one, because you're going to take the time that you did this habit, but you can't just take it away and then all of a sudden you're good, right? You have to replace it with a better habit, right? So if you smoke, why do people gain weight after they stop smoking? Because their habit was to put something else in their mouth. A lot of times they start with lollipops and then they go with something else, and then all of a sudden they're eating ice cream, and then so all of a sudden they're replacing that, but they're not replacing it with celery stick, are they? Can you imagine people walking around, give your kid celery sticks so they can lick it? No, that's not happening. Or a carrot. That doesn't happen. So people want to do what's easy. It's hard to recreate yourself, reset who you're supposed to be. And that's the hardest thing for people to do. It's easy to go chase money. It's easy to go chase your goals. It's hard to look in the mirror and look at yourself fully and say, this is who I am. Am I happy with the way I wake up, with my energy levels? Am I happy that I can't chase my kids, or am I happy that I am chasing my kids around the house and having fun with them? Or am I saying I'm too tired to do anything right now? So we have to really look in the mirror and find out, who do we really want to be? Because we all have the potential to be great, but our health is going to give us that potential. It's going to get us there in a better way.
I think we have to get to that point, though. Like, until you're at that point, just like how Scott had like a near-death experience, got him to that point. I got remarried 7 years ago to my husband, and he was not as fit as me and did not have the same health goals. And, you quickly discover these things. And I did not love that I could run circles around him. Like, for our honeymoon, we decided to go climb the Tetons and go backpacking because I thought that'd be awesome. I love doing that. And he always wanted to do it. I'm like, that's what we should do. I thought I needed to drag him off the mountain, which isn't an awesome feeling, because you're like, 10, 12,000 feet, and you have a 30-pound pack. And now I have a 190-pound man and a 30-pound pack, and my 30-pound pack and his. I'm like, we're going to die up here. All these things.
Wow.
But it was enough for him to realize that, I really need to make some changes. And he did. He chose to do that because he was like, I finally have you, which that was so nice. And he's like, I want to make sure that I'm here for you and for the kids. Mm-hmm. And he did. He made a complete transition of his life. Wow. And now he was just showing me, he is a huge mountain biker. He's a mountain bike coach on the kids' mountain bike team. We go backpacking multiple times a year. He is he exercises with me in the mornings and now he can run circles around me because he's a guy, and it's just the way it works when they get in shape. But he had to make that conscious choice, and he had to give up his snacking at night and find out how his body needs to fuel. And it is very true. Everybody and every body is different. And you have to really find somebody that is going to help you replace those habits with good systems. Replace those habits with things that are going to change you and help develop you. Because you have to get to that point, take your habits, change them into systems that work, and then create the life that you want. And it's not an instant thing. It's something that happens over time. It's been 7 years and now he's here and he never wants to go back. And everyone thinks he's so much younger than he is because he can outrun everyone. He's awesome. But he had to make that choice.
So where do you live again, Bethany?
I'm in Idaho.
So there is one guy in Idaho who happens to be the luckiest man in the world, or at least in Idaho. And that's your husband.
He's pretty lucky. I think so too. No, I'm lucky as well.
You both are, but it's important because he realized that for himself that he don't want to live that way, but then also in the process, by taking care of him, he led you to understand that he's going to be okay, because you would have had all this worry in your life that you married this man. Now you constantly have to look out for him, but meanwhile he took it upon himself, right? Because a lot of times people rely on other people to do things for us. Because I want to get in shape, so how are you going to help me? Interesting. I want to get in shape, or I want to be able to go on this vacation. How can I win that trip? No, maybe you have to work for it. Maybe you have to invest in it, right? So go ahead, Solomon. You have something. Go for it.
Oh my God. Speaking of trips, that's the main thing I realized through my 13 years of coaching women. For the most part, I realized that the main thing that the women look forward to is going on a vacation, going on a trip. And I realized that when they go on a trip, they gain this weight. And then I realized that I had to find a way where I can hold them accountable even when they're traveling. And then I use that also. Okay, imagine how you feel as if you lost these 15, 20 pounds. Your stomach is flatter, your glutes are more rounder. And then you're looking and feeling amazing while you're staying at that 5-star hotel. So I realized that the women needed help when it wasn't around me, because I realized just being a trainer, specialized in making programs, I realized that the women needed help when they actually wasn't around me with their habits, their lifestyle. And then so now them going on vacation is not no excuse, because I can still train them and help them even when they're on vacation, and help them with their habits and make sure that they do it in real time. So that really changed everything.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, think about the women who don't have to work because their husbands are doing all of it, right? And there's a lot of women in my neighborhood who don't go to work. They go shopping. That's their job. They put the kids on the bus. They take them off the bus, and during the day they're not doing anything. They're going out to lunches and all these things. But they're missing the point of they still have to take care of themselves.
Exactly. They should look good for their husband. That should be part of their job.
No, I'm sorry. Don't look good for your husband. Look good for you.
Yeah, it's nice too, but that's an added bonus.
For the husband, right? Listen, I don't want anybody else thinking that they have to look good for me, because that's to be honest with you. I'm not trying to be negative here, but if somebody's trying to look good for me, they're missing their worth. I think we have to be worthy of ourselves. And if somebody else benefits from what I've done, more power to me.
Yeah.
So any woman who's out there, and there's a lot of women, don't get me wrong, because and men too, right? I'm not saying just women, but you'll see people that they work out, they do all these things, then they get somebody and they let themselves go. Why? Because they
Yeah,
captured that person. That's
yeah.
it. I got
They
what I
got
needed,
comfortable.
and that's it. Now I get comfortable. And you see a lot of men who say, yeah, I'm married now. I don't have to worry about my figure. I hear a lot more men say that than women. A lot more men say that than women.
I never
I'm
heard
good.
that. Okay, wow.
They blame her because she's a good cook.
I've been blamed for that.
You know what? I would love to have some of your food, but I'm still going to work out and I'm still going to fast. So there you go.
According to
You know,
I said you could.
it's go ahead. Oh, I was gonna say it's interesting because it is a lot of people do things for the extrinsic motivation. And what you were talking about, they're doing it for something else. This is how our society is actually trained to think. And the real shift happens when you stop doing things for everyone else. When you take that extrinsic gold star mentality and you replace it with, I'm doing this for me because I know that makes me feel better. I know that I have a successful morning when I do this routine. I know that if I go to bed at this time, I'm going to have energy in the morning. I know that if I drink this water, I don't get headaches and I'm clear. You're doing it for you. And that's what makes the difference. And everything you do should be for you. It's not being selfish. It is putting your oxygen mask on so you can be there for everyone else. And that is the perspective that we need to make sure that we're doing. We're not doing this to be selfish. We're not doing this to have our husbands, Google over us or whatever. We're doing this because we know that we are a better person when we do it. And that is more important to me, to be there for everyone that's important to me by taking care of me.
Yeah. And when we think about the benefits that other people get from us taking care of ourselves, wow, those really add up because our children are going to be better off. Our husband or wife is going to be better off. Our business partner is going to be better off. If we're working for somebody, they're going to be better off because I'm not calling in sick all the time. So there's so many benefits to your health. I've never ever been out sick. Ever. I've never called in sick for my jobs. When I had a job, when I used to work in corporate, I was always there. And so my sick days accumulated so much that I think one day I had 30 at a company I was working for. They said, you're going to lose your sick days. I'm like, sick days? What do you mean? They're like, oh, they accumulate. I go, well, how many do I have? I had a month's worth. I said, okay, so I'm taking a month's vacation.
Yeah.
So what I did, instead of leaving them stranded, I said, okay, so every week in the summertime, I'm going to take Fridays and Mondays off. So I'll have a 4-day fun time for myself. Of course, I was doing other business, but so the benefits are there, right? If we look for them. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to go on a rampage right now, but we are done with time. So Bethany, I would love to have you tell us why somebody needs, and I think they need, to connect with you. Your information is going across the bottom of the screen. You have 45 seconds. Please share.
I feel like you need to connect with me because I customize and teach you exactly what you need to do. I teach you self-care, and I teach it through life skills. I teach emotional, spiritual, physical, social, and intellectual self-care so you can continue to nurture yourself forever so you can nurture everyone else.
Wow. Definitely connect with this young lady. She's powerful, powerful. And when you kept saying, I'm saying my age, what, young? Thank you for that. Okay, Solomon, you're up.
Yes. I've been coaching women for 13 years. I'm a certified glue specialist. I'm a certified health coach and certified nutritionist. So I make personalized programs based off of what the person needs, and I get to hold them accountable in real time. So I get to see their macros in real time. I get to see their steps I get to make sure that they do what they're supposed to do, and they can stay consistent. So whether they're traveling or they're at home, and they can be able to give their family the best, and everything is personalized. But I can just make sure that they do what they're supposed to do in real time, and that changes everything.
Love it. Thank you, buddy. And make sure you connect with him, right? So think about what he just said too. They take care of their health so they can take care of the rest of the world around them, right? So Scott, you're up, my friend.
I help people communicate messages better. Any of you that might depend on face-to-face presentation to create your revenue, make your money, and secure your business, I help you be able to do that more efficiently for longer periods of time with less effort. And most people like that because then they can work out and they can take care of themselves and do all sorts of great things as they make the revenues to spoil their wife and family.
I like that. So make money to spoil the people in your life. I like that. Thank you. Everybody make sure you connect with Scott. And I'm Sifu Rafael. What can I say? I love helping people. One of the most important things that God has given me was the gift to help, right? And I'm going to use that gift. So thank you, God, for that. So I help people reset, restore, and rise, whether that's through your health, your communication, or just the way you show up in leadership for your family, for yourself, and also to consider that the life you have is worth living. So connect with me. I have Sifu's Mind Body Method. Thank you, Scott, for being part of it. I have so many incredible people who need to understand that your life is worth eating right, sleeping right, fasting, journaling, all these different things. So thank you, everybody, for being here with us today. Really appreciate everybody. By the way, my next show is in 9 minutes, so make sure you come out to Heroes Rising. And what can I say? I love having exceptional people like you guys on the show. Everybody share the show with somebody. They need to hear today's message. And happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, all.
Happy Halloween.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I see y'all. Bye-bye.
This is Speaking Prowess,